Hello, YouTube. Realize it's been a while. I've been doing trailer issues. Got another trailer. Had more trailer issues. Had damaged load twice. Matter of fact, I don't know if you can see the box of Pringles snack cups. It was rejected at my delivery this morning. Out of 3,200 plus cases, one case was damaged. And I didn't count, but it looks like a couple are missing. I'm wondering if somebody ripped open the box and decided it was time for lunch, took a couple of them and said, oh, this is damaged. Anyways, so when something like this happens, you get damage to a load, you have to call OS&D, the OS&D department, which stands for overages, shortages, and damage. OS&D. So I called them, told them they rejected one case. It looked like somebody had ripped it open and taken a couple. Before I left it in the back of my truck for 50 miles, it was still intact and neat, not scattered all over the back of my trailer, which is what had happened when I finally got a hold of them. They told me to put it in my cab until they decided what to do with it. They have to contact Kraft, ask them what they want to do, and then they'll get back to me. The lady I talked to said, I'll probably have to dispose of the case however I see fit. So,
home messaging.
Yeah. Now, I'm sitting in the Swift terminal in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I just dropped off a damaged trailer here. This is the second damaged trailer. The first one I took to, it was in Tennessee. It was, where's my notebook? I can't see. Hold on a minute while I flip through pages. Let's back a couple pages. Jackson, Tennessee. That trailer had no brakes. Had brakes the day I picked it up. That I know for a fact, because part of doing a pre-trip on a trailer, other than checking the lights and checking for visual damage, is to pull against the brakes and make sure that they're locked. Pretty simple. I pull against it. If it doesn't move, I release the air brakes and go along about my business. And I'd also moved the tandems on that trailer forward, all the way forward. And I had to do that because the 7 rolls of paper that were the load were, I can't hold the phone in one arm the whole time, it gets tired. Anyways, 7 rolls of paper, they were loaded to the front of the truck. It was over 44,000 pounds. And the back of the last roll was where the front position of the tandems was. So all that weight was on the front of my truck. So I moved the tandems all the way forward, which was pretty close to balanced load. I mean, I may have talked about it in an earlier video. Then when I delivered that load in Humboldt, Tennessee, they wanted me to move my tandems to the back, to the rear, before unloading me. Safety issue, whatever. I couldn't slide the tandems. It took about half an hour to do, and I was running out of hours by this time. But eventually, what happened was, by completely removing the airlines, chalking the tire, and beating in the pins with the ball peen hammer, I was finally able to slide the tandems to the back. So as I was getting unloaded, I called On-Road, told them what happened. They asked if I needed somebody, sent out to them. The reason the tandems wouldn't slide is because when I was trying to slide them, even though the brakes were supposedly locked, the air was released from the system, the tires were just turning. So there was something either wrong with the spring brakes, and I tried both the spring brakes and the actual, trailer brakes. Couldn't get it stopped. So, yeah. After I got unloaded, I pulled around, and on pavement, by chalking 2 of the tires, I was able to get the tandem slid back forward for, ease of driving in that god-awful place. It's a good thing I did, too, otherwise I would have never gotten to where Jackson Trailer Repair, which is where I dropped the trailer off. Went and picked up my load from Kellogg Company, and the very first thing I noticed was one of the sand shoes was missing. You're probably saying, what the fuck is a sand shoe, right? Well, if you ever look underneath a trailer, it's got landing gear. Those 2 legs in front that come down and hold it up when it's not connected to a truck. On the bottom of those is a flat plate about, say a good 8 inches square, that's called the sand shoe. And what it does is make sure that even if it's heavy, the trailer doesn't sink down into the ground. Without the sand shoe, it's basically a 4-inch square pole, hollow pole, that could, easily go down into the mud or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to report that. Hooked up to the load, and I couldn't slide the tandems on this one. Different reason. The brakes work just fine, but the bar that you pull out to be able to slide the tandems wasn't latching in place. It was just slamming back in, slamming back home, releasing the pins and, out back into the holes. I fought with it for about 20 minutes. I was able to move it a little bit forward, not far. Said fuck it, drove on, tried to call, nobody answered. I got pissed off and hung up and parked for the night. Yesterday I was able to talk to somebody. When I parked for the night last night, yesterday afternoon, I was at a TA, and they told me to take it to the TA and, have them fix it. They couldn't. They didn't have the part for the sand shoe, and even though the guy spent a long time grinding, I don't know why, but the guy obviously decided that to fix the bar not locking in place, what he had to do is grind it. Okay. Now the bar wasn't locking in place because it wasn't thick enough. Over years, the rust or whatever, I don't know. I don't know the exact reason, but there's a notch that slides down into. And if it doesn't hold there, it'll just, pop back. Well, the bar wasn't thick enough for the indent. There's a little bit of an indent where it pulls in. And like I said, that wasn't thick enough to lock into that. So the answer to that, not being thick enough, is to, of course, grind some more off. Obviously, that didn't work. The guy did help me move the tandems all the way, well, not all the way, most of the way forward. So I was able to drive in the bullshit, most of the bullshit. There were a couple places I clipped curbs and things like that because it's just, the East Coast is jacked and I don't like to be there. So anyways, long story short, the empty trailer I bring here to this terminal that's basically a shop and a parking lot. I don't even know if there's a driver lounge. I hope so. I'd really like to take a shower. If there's not a driver lounge, I'm hoping they'll let me go back up to the Loves, and, of course, probably not, because I'm only 2 miles away from my next pickup, at Knopf Insulation. And that's the kicker. This is the fun part. I can pick up the pickup window for this load, which is a preloaded trailer, is 2/17/2359 to 2/18/0000, 24-hour clock. I've got a 1 minute window to pick this load up. Obviously, I'll be early. But today is 2/16 and it's not even noon yet. So, it's more than 36 hours in the future. So, I guess I'm getting a 34-hour reset. Not because I want it. No. But because that's what they've decided to do. There are a couple gas stations around. I don't need a 34-hour reset. I don't particularly want one. Really, if it's loaded in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to pick it up and go. It delivers in Topeka, Indiana, 6 a.m. on the 19th. I don't know how firm that delivery appointment is. I don't know if I can get it there early. I don't know. But that's, yeah. So Valentine's Day was shitty because of a broken trailer, and yesterday was shitty because of a broken trailer, and today has been shitty because of the broken trailer. And tomorrow I might not do jack shit for work, which would be shitty. And then Saturday, no. Yeah, well, late Saturday night, I'll get to drive again. Turn another 500 miles getting to Topeka. I will get paid about 50 miles for deadheading here. They do pay me for deadhead, especially when they tell me to go to that place. But yeah, so that's why I haven't done a video in a couple days, because I've just been, fuck this. Anyway, I hope you guys' days have been better. I love you, YouTube. I'll talk to you later.